Assalamu alaikum, my superheroes. How was your day? Welcome to a new lesson of our Arabic learning. In the previous lessons, we've studied Arabic alphabet, their shapes, their sounds, and the positions of them in the word. And now it's time to bring them to life by harakat, or moves, or even tashkil. Are you ready? Let's get started. Harakat or tashkil, which are small symbols above or below the letters, so tiny but it have a huge effect in the meaning and in the pronunciation of the word, and can be fatha, dhamma, kasra, and these are the short vowels. Also there is tanween, double fatha, double kasra, and double dhamma. And there are sukoon and tashdid or shadda. But first we are going to meet a very special guest, and he's going to be our letter helper for the next few lessons. He's called Mr. Moves. How are you, Mr. Moves? Hi. What a wonderful features you have. Your curly hair is like dhamma, and your eyebrows is like fatha, and your circular eyes are sukoon. Your nose is shadda, and your mouth is kasra. Goodbye, Mr. Moose. We will meet you again. The first one is fatha. Fatha is a small symbol like a diagonal line placed above the letter, and it makes the sound a, like in cat or mat. And remember to make it short. Cat, mat. Here are the letters. Do you remember them? Yes. Excellent. The first one is dad, and with fatha above his head, he is pronounced da. Notice it's a heavy letter, so we must keep him heavy and fill our mouth with air. Da. And with the hamza, we say a. And the final one is tha, which is a lathawi letter, so we must touch the tip of our tongue with our upper frontal teeth, like this. Tha, tha, which is a light letter as well. In order to make the sound of fatha, we must open our mouth wide like this, and we must relax our lips and say ah, ah. So we take the pronunciation of the letter up. Now, who's ready for a story? Yes, we are. Okay. Once upon a time, in the magical land of letters, all the letters lived happily, playing and making their own sounds, like this one, qaf, ra, and alif. They were making their sound and walking in the road. But suddenly, a very big hole appeared, and they didn't see it. Let's call for them to take care. Letters, take care. Watch out. Don't fall in the hole. But the letters qaf, ra, and alif didn't hear us. So they filled in the hole. Oh my God, they keep shouting. Qa, ra, No, no one can hear him. Qa, ra, no one can hear him. But suddenly, out of a sudden, came a little girl called Maryam, and she came running with her magical bandage, and say it is called Fatha. And she put 3 little bandage, one on top of each letter. And the magic happened. The letters come out and shouted. The alif shouted ah, and the qaf shouted qa, and the ra shouted ra. Now let's start with other letters as well. Do you remember these letters? We have studied all of them in previous lessons. Let's have a song to remind us with them. The little bandage on my head, it looks like Fatha. It makes a sound, a very short sound. The sound is Fatha's A. Now let's try this song with other letters as well. Let's try it with Ba, Ta, and Tha. The Ba has a bandage on her head, it looks like Fatha. It makes a sound, a very short sound. The Fatha sound is Ba. The Fatha sound is Ta. The Fatha sound is Tha. Now let's say all the other letters. Ga, Ha, Kha, and notice here that Kha is a heavy letter, so you must pronounce it heavy like this. Kha, fill your mouth with air. Then Da, The, Ra, Za, Sa, Sha. Here comes the heavy ones. Sa, Da, Ta, Va, A, a heavy one as well. Gha, then Fa, a light one. Then Qa, this also a heavy one. Ka, notice the difference between Qaf and Kaf. Qaf is pronounced Qa, while Kaf is pronounced Ka. Did you notice? Excellent. Then La, Ma, Na, Ha, Ha, Wa, and Ya. Excellent. These are all the alphabets with the Harakat Fatha. Clap for yourselves. What a big achievement you've done. Now you're ready to read the very first word in Arabic, and it's the first step in reading Holy Quran. Isn't it amazing? MashaAllah. May Allah grant you all the understanding of prophets and the memory of messengers, my dears. Let's start with our first example. Here we see letter Qaf, a letter Qaf with a Fatha on its top. The next one is Ra, with also a Fatha on its head, and Alif with a Fatha on its head. So we're going to pronounce it as follows. Qaf, Fathun, Qa. Ra, Fathun, Ra. Qa, Ra. Then Hamzun, Fathun, A. Qa, Ra, A. Qara'a, which means read. The next example is طبخ. طا فتح طا باء فتح با طا با. Then خاء فتح خا طا با خا طبخ. Good job. And here are example 4. What happened if we change the fatha with kasra? Isn't it the same word? No, it's not the same word. It have a huge change in the meaning. So, in the first one is Jannah, which means garden. The Jim here have a fatha on his head. It is Jannah. And in the second word, it is Jinnah, as the Jim has kasra below it. So it changed the meaning totally, as Jannah means garden and Jinnah means shaitan. So it's not the same at all. Alright, my friends, that's all for today, but I'm going to leave you these examples to practice at home. And when you practice it, we will discuss it all in the next lesson, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.